Hi, I'm Jennifer, and in the video that I'm about to show you, we're going to learn how to make Christmas ornaments using just very few ingredients. It's a salt dough recipe which involves simply salt and flour. And here's an example of some that I have already created. A little gingerbread man, a little Christmas tree, and a shiny star. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of the ingredients that we're going to be using for our salt dough mixture to make our ornaments here. We're first going to take a look at just your regular everyday salt. Next, cinnamon, glitter glue, flour, some Christmas cookie cutters, as well as a cup for measuring and a bowl for mixing. And that's it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add the first ingredient, which is your regular everyday flour. I've already poured it into this cup that I'm going to use to measure it. The flour and the salt, you don't have to get specific on it. It just takes equal parts. So let me go ahead and pour in the flour. After I pour in the flour, I'm going to go ahead and do the salt. And remember, the salt is going to be the same equal amount as flour. So let me go ahead and pour in the salt. Okay, so I'll let you take a look at what this looks like right now. Okay, so here's the mixture of the flour and salt that we added together. Remember, they are both equal parts, however much you wanted to use. I used approximately a cup for both. Okay, so now that we've added our salt and our flour, and remember they were approximately the same equal amounts, it's time for us to go ahead and add our approximately half a cup of water. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. The temperature should just be at room temperature. You don't want it too hot or too cold. I'm going to go ahead and start mixing the ingredients together here. Some things to think about as you're mixing your ingredients is to make sure that your dough is not too sticky. You want to make sure that it's appropriate enough to whenever you're touching it, it's not completely sticking to your hand, but at the same time you want it to be able to form together into a nice ball. So you just want to keep kneading it together. Okay, so I'm going to continue to knead my dough together. My consistency is looking pretty good. It's a tad bit on the dry side. If yours comes out to be a little dry, you may want to add a little bit of water to it to give it some more moisture. If it's not sticking together at all very well, then you want to do opposite and add flour to it. Okay, so now that I have my salt dough to the appropriate texture that I want it to be in, I'm going to go ahead and add some of the fun elements to the recipe here. And these are some that I have included, and they're totally optional. You don't have to put them in at all. But one of my favorite parts is adding the cinnamon. The reason why I like the cinnamon so much is because it gives your salt dough a little bit of color to it. And the best part about it is that it makes your ornament really have that nice cinnamon smell that kind of goes along with the Christmas holidays. So you can put in as much or as little as you want, and all you do is you just keep shaking and kneading it together to your liking. Okay, so now that I have the amount of cinnamon that I want in the salt dough, I'm going to add one last ingredient. Again, this is optional. The ingredient that I'm adding today is some sparkly glitter glue. I like to use the glitter glue because it gives a little bit of moisture to the salt dough to kind of make it all cohesive together, the ingredients. But you don't have to use the glitter glue. You can use regular glitter or whatever you want, or none at all. So I'm going to go ahead. Now I kind of like to use a lot because I like my ornaments to be really sparkly. Once you've added some, go ahead and just start mixing it together. Now that I'm done mixing all of my ingredients and I have kneaded it to 3 little balls here because of the amount of the dough, and it's the right consistency, not too dry and not too wet. We are ready for my favorite part, which is cutting of the ornaments. So I'm just going to take a little small piece here, pinch off a piece, and I'm going to flatten it out. And you can use any sort of cookie cutters that you want. The particular ones that I happen to buy were only 75 cents at the Walmart, okay? So once you have it flattened out, nice, spread it out. Go ahead and choose the one that you want. Make sure it's on the sharp edge, the cookie cutter, so I need to turn mine over and push down gently, and then take off the excess. This is what I like to do before I totally take it off. It's easier to peel. Alright. And voila. There's your wonderful smelling, sparkly Christmas ornament. Okay, so once you are done cutting all of your ornaments that you wish, if you have any left over, you can definitely not throw away the rest of the mixture, and you can save it and wrap it up in some sort of foil or some sort of saran wrap or in an airtight container. Now, one thing that I like to do, if you want to see it quickly done, you can take the ornament that you have made and go ahead and bake it in the oven for 20 minutes at 350 to make it hard. Or you can just leave it out overnight and it will harden as well. So it's up to you on which route you want to go to. Once it's completely hard, then you're able to decorate it as you wish. For this particular one, the star here, what I did was, after it was hard, I took some of that same glitter glue that I used in the mixture and I applied it and spread it evenly throughout the whole entire star here, to give it kind of that shiny look. Another part that I did for my little Christmas tree, the little balls here, I used just your regular finger paint with the Q-tip to be able to make the balls here. I did add some of the silver glitter glue as well. And on my little gingerbread man here, all I used was some markers to draw on it, okay? So there's multiple ways that you can decorate these ornaments. And not only is the decorating the fun part about it, but once you're ready to hang them up on the tree, they smell so good, and that smell stays for a long time. So please enjoy.